Tidy Evolution.
Correct.
Good! Oh my God, Mia!
Okay.
Hey everybody, welcome to our channel. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. I am super excited today to introduce you to Mia Keenan. She is the owner-operator of her company called Tidy Evolution, which is an organizing company. She will come into your home and make it what you want it after a full complete consultation. And she specializes in, now you have to take over because those are words that I just can't seem to remember.
Thank you, Shamika. So the method that I specialize in is called the KonMari Method, and this is the tidying approach developed by Marie Kondo. What I like about the KonMari Method is that it's very holistic, right? So we start with a lifestyle vision pertaining to your home. Maybe what you want to change in your home, what activities you'd like to increase in your home, and we take it from there. What is specific about the KonMari Method is also that we tidy or we organize your possessions by category versus just like one corner of your home and then another room of your home. And the categories are, number one, clothing. That might be something that you remember.
I'm going to need you to come back off film for the clothing portion. That is not going to
actually go through
public.
Sure, so you start with
yes.
clothing, then category number 2 is books, and category number 3, papers, which includes your personal kind of administrative papers, as well as if you have an office at home, work from home, or that could also be in your office, your location of work.
I'm gonna need that one too.
The 4th category is miscellaneous, or called kimono. And this category really encompasses the largest amount of possessions that we tend to own. Everything that isn't clothing, books, or papers, or specifically sentimental, which is the last category. So miscellaneous is like all of your utilitarian items.
You're coming back.
So that's kind of the miscellaneous. And then as we go through those first 4 categories, every time we encounter something that is sentimental, that tends to be harder for us to decide whether to keep or let go, we set that aside into its own section or pile for the very last and 5th category, which is sentimental. The reason this is a great approach is that, especially for clients who are going through hard transitions and they really need more time to think about or kind of feel into those sentimental items, So we put those all aside until the very end, and then that's when you kind of take a bit more time to go through those, and photos are usually a large category of sentimental. If you've gone through the KonMari Method, you've practiced deciding whether you want to keep or let go items on easier items like clothing or, your kitchen spoons, your pots and pans. By the time you get to sentimental, you've kind of built that muscle of what brings you joy, what you need in your life, what you want in your life moving forward, what you're no longer needing and can let go of. And so it's just kind of a nice evolution to get.
So Mia so kindly and graciously is going to organize my miscellaneous kitchen cabinets, which she directed me to allow to get as messy as possible. So please no pre-photo judgments, people. Can't wait to see what you do with it.
Okay. So first of all, this is a lot of really beautiful storage space. Tell me so far, what you have going on here, if there's anything that's frustrating you.
Okay, so, obviously, I'm not super tall.
Sure.
What do they say? Vertically challenged. So I can't reach anything on the top shelf really at all. Like tippy toes or whatever.
Okay.
I have all my cookbooks up there, which I guess I could climb up and get as needed. They would be the thing that I use probably the least amount of the time.
Okay.
Besides that food saver thing. And then everything down here I use the most so I can access it pretty easily. Obviously liquor cabinet, cups, which need all brand new eventually to replace what we have going on there, which is an eclectic mess.
So yeah, as I work today, I'll just kind of be checking in with you here and there, and you know, if maybe questions about the cookbooks. I definitely like the idea of bringing the mixer back in, especially if that's something that is used kind of frequently. Basically, the process is like taking everything out, reassessing, and seeing if there are, you know, better ways to use a container or something for the space. It's okay to have a cabinet or a shelf that remains empty. And often in homes that have a lot of storage, if the family or the individual tends to be more minimalist and really not need to have a lot of possessions, we end up with some spaces that are just empty.
Okay.
And that's okay.
Okay.
The question is about, I know I said I wasn't gonna.
You're gonna
mess with your.
do it.
It really is surprising how much you had, you know, in a small space. So,
like, what is that stuff? Who even uses that?
we're discussing the cookbook situation, and my idea is to have some pulled down that are a little bit more accessible. So Shamika is identifying those cookbooks that she uses more often and what kind of would spark joy for her to have more accessible. I would rather like gaze more readily upon the cookbooks versus this thing.
Yeah.
But obviously that's up to you.
No, I never use it.
Yeah, so when I work with long-term clients who are doing the whole KonMari process, the entire KonMari process in their home, it can take a year, it can take 6 months, it can take more than a year. We usually do 1 session per week, like 1 4-hour session per week. I find that if you do more than that, it's a little overwhelming because each organizing session will often generate like some to-do items, and so we kind of have to catch up in between. And it might be small to-do items that the client does, like return this dress to my sister-in-law, or you know, just little things, or it may be things that I help with, like I take away donations, I take shredding, like confidential document shredding. So that type of a process is just can go on for months and months. Yeah.
Danny's tall, he can reach
He's
up
tall,
there.
okay.
So I've never used that distilled vinegar once.
Okay. Okay, well that's a good use of the
That's
high-up space.
beautiful.
Yeah. Okay, Shamika, so I'm gonna do a little reveal, explain how I rearranged some things, and we can talk about if you think it works, and we can always like make adjustments. Here we had,
Holy cow.
so if I recall, we previously had,
A mess.
no, it wasn't,
A mess.
Not
Just
at all.
let's call it what it was.
We previously had the cookbooks kind of higher up top that weren't as accessible, even though I know you said you don't like use them that often.
Yeah.
Food saver equipment was down here somewhere. You had the great idea of bringing the mixer down so that it was more accessible for your daughter, for other family members, so that worked out awesome. We did a little bit of downsizing with the glassware.
Yeah.
And kind of rearrange this more. This is a bit more of like a drink station, I guess, if you will. When we talked about cookbooks, you identified these as the ones that you use the most. And even though you don't pull out the recipes from your, was this your grandmother's?
My bubby.
Yeah, your bubby. That often we wanted to have this front and center just to like be a little joy sparking memorabilia for you. So that's what we did here. More of your canned types of goods and sauces. There's a little bit of an addition here of this riser. So this is just, it's like a ladder, kind of like it has a few little steps. That's helpful for cans or spices. We added in some of these same containers, which are super fancy, lovely storage containers. And these can be used for anything really. As one product empties out, you can refill it with the same product, or you know, if you're like, oh, I'm tired of these white beans, I'm gonna get a different type of bean or whatever, you can do that. This empty one back here, as we discussed, is waiting for your husband's white rice item. This space is really flexible. You can flex it according to what you purchased that week during your grocery shop or whatever. And then here we have a space for your what do you call it, like cold cellar items, I guess, like onions, potatoes type of thing. So that can live here. And then this is just some more packaged, mostly savory items. The top shelf is again for least accessible items. We have some dried chili peppers right now and whatever type of thing that you know you're only going to use occasionally.
I freaking love
So
it.
does everything seem reachable for you? Is there something that you're like, oh, I already know, you know, that's too far up or anything like that?
Nope, that looks amazing. I am
in
so
right
excited.
now.
I super thought I was an organized person until just now. Yay, thank you.
You love that.
If you want your life organized, Tidy Evolution.
This was so
the
fun
way to go.
and already such a great starting.
It's beautiful.
Already, I love this area. I just love that you can open this and like, you know, see your cute little cocktail glasses and also some memorabilia. So I think that'll be nice.
Really, really amazing job. Like and subscribe.
Yeah, at Tidy Evolution.